everybody, back with me again, and we have someone today
Hello.
with me. What's your name? Introduce yourself, please.
My name is Mr. Gabe. I am a teacher here, and I've been teaching since 2012, I think. So it's been quite a while.
Yeah, it has indeed.
Yes, marinated well.
Yes, and fine wine, we'd say.
Fine wine.
Yeah.
Love it.
Today, as has been introduced ya, kita ditemenin sama Mr. Gabe ya. Okay, so sir, a bit about your background dong. Jadi Mr. Gabe ini, aku dengar sempat ada public speaking, bener gak? You had prior experience in public speaking katanya ya?
Iya, jadi kayaknya I think it started when I was in high school. I have no idea why, but I think I would say it's accidentally. Yeah, I accidentally joined my school's high school English debating team. So it was a new team, yeah, just recently established, and they had no second speaker for the backup team. So they already have the team A, we call it like that, and you know the team consists of mainly the best, the elite ones gitu kan ya. And then there's the backup team dong, the team B gitu kan. Nah team B ini nggak ada second speakernya, so they kind of like recruited me because they know that I love to speak English and then comment about current issues and stuff. Okay, so I said okay gitu kan. So I said okay, I joined. And I got addicted. I lost my first debate, yeah, of course. I mean, like I lost, and it made me like next time I will never lose. You know, ingat yang waktu Zoro bilang ke Luffy, I will never lose anymore. That's kind of like that.
That's the kind of motivation that was instilled gitu.
Yeah. Then after that, I try to refine the way I speak, the way I deliver my ideas, my expression in front of public. Quite funny sebenarnya, because I turned to one thing that a lot of people did not expect back then. I turned into pro wrestling shows. Waktu itu kan WWE, SmackDown dan Monday Night Raw. Iya, WWE. Kan lagi banyak banget gitu kan. And what I like about watching the show is not only the fight, not only the match, but also the promos. That's when two superstar, two players, they talk smack to each other gitu kan, ngejek-ngejek, and then giving their ideas, giving their opinion about other person. I copied that, and for some reason it works.
It worked, yeah.
It worked, and I try to nail it down to the timing, how the pronunciation, and then my gestures. I would leave people like in silence, just to get them waiting for the next part. Jadi I guess that's what started me. I mean, I got quite far sampai ke HSDC, sampai ke final. We made it. Congratulations. But then I get to third grade and cannot continue debating anymore. So
karena sudah harus siap-siap ujian dan lain-lain.
Iya. Nah di university juga I just so happen to not continue that anymore, but I happen to join this group, the Moot Court, with my so much younger juniors. Because I've discovered that late, right? But I thought it was interesting, and I chose. Waktu itu I chose arbitration.
William C. Vis kah?
Iya.
Ya jadi fun fact guys, gue sama Mr. Gabe ini adalah dua-duanya orang hukum ya sebenarnya. Jadi kalau nanti bagi yang kepo Moot Court itu apa, kita akan maybe jelasin sedikit ya.
That will be interesting ya, karena itu juga English kan ya.
Dan itu real life application juga sebenarnya sih ya. Betul. Itu ada hubungannya ketat sekali kan sama karir gitu.
Betul.
Nah jadi dulu gue sama Mr. Gabe ini bagian dari Moot Court ya, kita berdua gitu. Nah ini kita dengerin dulu nih cerita ya Mr. Gabe. Moot Court apa tadi? Arbitration ya?
Arbitration.
Terus?
So, arbitration itu basically where we try to arbitrate, kayak menengahi problem between either two countries atau
Two parties,
corporations,
ya.
two parties. And it can be anything. It can be anything. My case was about film distribution.
That's very
Which is
interesting.
quite nice ya kan.
Dan ini real life banget
It is
sebenarnya
real
kan.
life, yeah.
Seumum itu gitu loh. Cuman
Yeah.
orang nggak tahu gitu.
Kayaknya kalau nggak salah itu jadi kayak the topic was actually based on real life events, but they just changed the name of the corporations kayak gitu.
Disamarkan saja gitu
Betul.
ya.
And it's really helpful, guys. Because when I joined that, I did not know that there is such thing like copyright law or how exactly copyright law works,
ya.
how exactly distribution deal between parties, how it works. And because of that, I get to learn more about business, about economy, ya kan. And it's a really new and an inspiring experience for me.
Yeah.
And we get to meet important people kan ketika di Jakarta, we get to meet figures or people that actually knows their field. Jadi not only we get a good feedback, kan, but every critic seems like wow, it's a materi kuliah nih.
Yeah, it's a new thing
It's a
juga
new thing.
gitu kan. It's actually mungkin bisa dibilang feedback dan kritik dari mereka itu bisa dibilang cukup valid mungkin ya, karena mereka juga sudah terjun di situ dan kita juga bisa melihat real life application-nya itu sebenarnya seperti apa sih dari orang-orang yang sangat ahli dalam bidangnya gitu.
Yeah, so much so that I thought that my experience in the moot court itu like sums up 3 or 4 years of my college.
Iya, kita pada nge-skip kelasnya juga nggak apa-apa gitu kan sebenarnya.
And mungkin kalau kalian tertarik ya guys, ya ketika nanti kalian udah kuliah nyoba di hukum terutama atau mungkin di fakultas lain ada
Visipol
sejenisnya
kali ya,
Visipol
mirip-mirip.
gitu ya. Banyak dosen dan profesor tuh yang sebenarnya kayak justru ini nge-push kita untuk ikut gitu loh. Bilang udahlah nggak apa-apa, nggak usah ikut kelas itu. Karena in reality you learn so much more than
Dari
just attending class.
Dari lomba-lomba ini kan?
Iya, dari lomba-lomba ini. And if we talk about public speaking ya kan ya, my public speaking cannot be boosted big enough because of this kind of competition.
Yeah.
Ini benar-benar kita berada di posisi di mana kita harus speak or die.
Ya,
Gampangannya
literally
gitu kan.
on edge kan kita tuh
On
sebenarnya.
edge.
Karena dia unpredictable. And sebenarnya public speaking tuh seperti itu in its
Yes.
essence ya.
Yeah.
Bener gak sih Sir? Karena orang kan selama ini berpikir public speaking itu adalah sebuah teori bahkan ya. Atau mereka bahkan berpikir public speaking ini adalah something yang cukup textbook gitu. Though I actually beg to differ ya. Kayaknya karena some theories are just meant to just like be an anecdote sometimes even ya. Public speaking is art nggak sih sebenarnya at its essence ya. It's the ability for you to just kayak put thoughts into words, articulate emotions, how you appear to public, your body gestures, facial expressions. Bener nggak sih kalau itu semua kan sebenarnya count ya?
Yeah, I would say it is an art. There are theories about it, of course. Ya kan? There are methods if you want to start, right? But just like art, just like painting, just like singing, it's getting perfect year after year after year of practice.
Ya.
Jadi kalau misalkan kamu hanya bisa sekali 2 kali, don't expect too much ya.
Yeah.
But once you do it for years and years and years, and you get you get to start be able to express whatever comes out in your mind that quick. Now that is all the most important thing about public speaking.
Karena memang at the end of the day kan orang tuh berpikir public speaking itu jadi berhasil ketika kamu bisa tahu semua teknik on booknya, semua teknik teorinya, padahal enggak ya.
Enggak.
The success of it itu adalah mungkin tolak ukur atau threshold of like success ini kan hinged upon your ability to execute ya.
Betul.
What you have learned gitu kan maksudnya Mr. Gabe ya.
Yeah.
Iya sih, jadi sebenarnya itu the misconception that we would like to kind of straighten out ya sebenarnya hari ini. Kalau dari ceritanya Mr. Gabe tadi kayak kita bisa dengar banyak sekali gitu aplikasi public speakingnya. Orang
banyak
mungkin
banget guys.
berpikir public speaking itu sebatas pidato mungkin atau debat gitu.
Iya, iya.
Padahal enggak gitu. Lu ngomong di depan kelas juga udah public speaking. Iya.
Itu gini nih, ada semacam misconception lagi ya bahwa public speaking itu terbatas selain di speech lalu debate gitu kan. Pak, biasanya di level kompetisi nih kayak storytelling lalu news reading gitu, padahal enggak guys.
Yeah.
Jadi MC kondangan ya, wedding
itu
MC
juga
itu juga public speaking guys. I am mungkin buat teman-teman yang sering lihat acara cosplay di mall, you get to see me as an MC. That's public speaking. apa namanya voice acting or maybe even pure acting is also public speaking.
Iya, kita mimpin rapat nih, kita negosiasi aja ya, kita mau perang tender gitu ya, atau kita mau try to make our point through, that is also public speaking kan sebenarnya.
Bener banget,
bener
banget. Orang presentasi atau what do you call it? Kasih CV, kasih disposisi itu aja udah public speaking.
Iya, interview pun incorporate public speaking.
Iya,
gitu kan.
especially if kalau interviewernya itu biasanya ada 3 atau 4 gitu kan ya. Then you have to be able to convince all of them at once.
Lu kayak appeal satu-satu.
Iya,
gitu
ya kan. And every people have different different likings, ya kan. Ada yang suka ini, ada yang mencari karakter seperti ini dari orangnya. And how in just few sentences you can get to appeal all of them. Padahal kan mereka keinginannya berbeda-beda gitu.
Yes.
Nah, aku pikir itu yang paling penting dan paling seru ya dari public speaking. Ya, nggak membosankan sama sekali kok.
Benar, karena aku juga sebenarnya merasakan public speaking itu banyak juga psychology play ya, quote unquote ya. Karena maksudnya kita harus pintar dalam memilah kata. Ya, mungkin kita berpikir contohnya nih ketika kita bilang I would like to inquire you further, sama kita bilang I want to ask you. Nah itu sebenarnya kalau kita artikan kan artinya sama.
Sama.
Tapi impression yang diberikan berbeda.
Iya,
Bener gak Sir? Jadi it's about reading the room juga kan. Sering kali kayak when you enter a room and you see your audience gitu ya. Public speaking itu less about us and more about the people we speak to kan sebenarnya. Karena with public speaking, I think your intentions matter gitu. The target, the goal, apa yang berusaha lo sampaikan di sini gitu kan. Benar nggak?
Benar banget. Dan itu terlihat dari pilihan kata-kata serta cara kamu public speaking di situ juga berbicara di situ.
Approach-nya itu ya.
Iya. And a good public speaker is not the one who always use ini contrary to the popular belief ya, public speaker yang bagus itu bukan yang selalu pakai kata-kata indah, kata-kata susah, but the one that can that can go well to the level of the people that that in front of them, gitu kan. Jadi kalau misalkan saya tuh dulu kan saya kan MC ya juga ya, one of my mentor in MCing was some of them are quite legendary, kayak Pak Bambang Gundul gitu kan. He was a legendary comedian actually, and I get to learn more from comedian. Because they are actually super intelligent.
Yes.
They are rich with ideas that they can just like you know.
Yeah, they're actually geniuses.
They're actually genius.
They package it in a very mundane way, I guess. You can say that.
And I get to learn that you can actually crack a joke during your public speaking, and it's not only what do you call it? It's not only to make it funny, but it also shows how smart you are by taking one anecdote that has something to do with with the material or with the topic that you are speaking with, and then turn it into a joke, a refreshing one, and also try not to be offensive. It can be offensive joke, right?
Depends.
Depends. But you have to also know the limit.
Ini sebenarnya all about harmony and balance nggak sih? Kayak lu makan satu piring tuh, how each component tuh balances out satu sama
it's like
lain.
A perfect nasi padang gitu.
Kayak rendangnya just right gitu ya, papayanya cukup gitu.
So it's a combination of all of the thing, dan itu nggak mungkin tercipta kalau public speakernya, si pembicaranya itu nggak berlatih, ya kan? Nggak banyak baca,
sense-nya juga jelek gitu ya.
Iya, sense-nya juga jelek. So it's a lifelong training just to get this
process,
public speaking. Dan memang benar sih, you have to read a lot.
Ya. Dan maksudnya kita harus banyak referensi ya. Maksudnya banyak belajar, banyak nonton orang lain. Bukan berarti karena kita mau kepo. Tapi even the best artist we know tuh tidak membuat sesuatu dari nol. You get what I'm saying? Jadi kayak adalah kita mendapatkan inspirasi bahasanya dari mana untuk membuat inovasi gitu kan.
Dan dengan kayak misalnya kita quote someone gitu kan, it actually shows us that we read the book atau
we did our research.
We know our materials well, and it's always been for me rewarding experience every time I do that just a little bit. Orang tuh langsung wah, Mas baca juga ya karya-karyanya ini ya, Even though I'm just reading like one book or two books, I was like, but just one book, and people will still, appreciate you for that.
Dan sebenarnya aku tuh ini juga mungkin contradicting popular belief ya. Aku sepakat sama Mr. Gabe in the part where kita bilang tadi it's about how you say it and less about what you say. Karena kan misalkan yang kayak tadi Mr. Gabe bilang pakainya terms-terms yang big terms gitu ya. Use big and difficult sophisticated terms. Terus kayak audience lu sorry to say let's say blue collar workers atau misalkan bahkan UMKM sellers gitu. Kayak that wouldn't be right gitu. Karena itu nanti jadi nggak appeal kan ke mereka. Dan tadi yang aku mau ngomongin tentang contrary to popular belief adalah sebenarnya for me sentimentality is a big kan? It's a big factor dalam public speaking. People like to keep it quite generic atau bahkan mereka suka keep it bahasaku adalah cukup kaku gitu ya. They like to keep it very textbook, very theoretical, very rigid gitu kayak mengikuti step by step dari buku. Tapi my style of public speaking has always been touching the heart sih. Ibaratnya etos patos logos kan. Nah, I think sentimentality itu proven time and time again untuk apa ya sir, I don't know your experience, mungkin nanti aku mau denger di situ. Tapi in my case, public speaking has always been the most successful when you touch the hearts of your listeners gitu.
Definitely, I'm gonna cut you down over there. It has been proven by history, time and time again. All great speakers are great leaders. Bung Karno ya, you know how. You know every time he speak dia kan berapi-api gitu.
Bung Tomo gitu.
Bung Tomo, John F. Kennedy, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King.
Even Donald Trump.
Even Donald Trump. As long as you can play, you know their heart, play their heart, and you can convince them into your cause. That's a win for public speaker. And it can be in all kinds of things.
Settings juga.
All kinds of setting. Here's a little bit of experience. Waktu 2006 tuh kan Jogja kena gempa gede ya, and then karena banyak yang meninggal, banyak yang jadi korban jiwa juga, banyak bangunan rusak. I actually at that time I have nothing to do other than just being a student. Tapi karena kampusnya rusak, so we don't have anywhere else to go. Sementara nunggu kampusnya diperbaiki, I join voluntary work. I happen to join a Japanese Indonesian cooperation agency, and we went to places like in Delingo, Bantul, and help people over there. Nah, turns out that the people over there were back then itu tuh tertutup sama orang luar. And when we ask them like, what kind of help can we offer you? They'd be like, oh, no need. We have enough, or maybe like, oh, you can just help with, mundane things, water, rice, things that are everyday important. We know that, we already have that prepared. But things like we want to be more specific, like healthcare, right? And and we saw the only puskesmas over there, the health clinic, itu was flattened to the ground. So how can people say like they don't need that gitu kan? Ya udah, so I try to talk to the kepala desa and they gave me an audience because these Japanese people, they don't speak bahasa Indonesia. I'm the only one who speaks bahasa Indonesia. I asked them, okay, what do you guys want me to do gitu kan? Just convince them that we are going to help them building healthcare. Okay, so I went there and I tried to convince them. But still the answer was like no. Because I try to speak like a corporate guy, you know.
Kayak
try to
agak sophisticated ya.
Sophisticated gitu kan. And then midway I decided to change my language to Japanese. And then I sat down and then I said like, ladies and gentlemen, I am here not trying to get money from you or anything, you know. We just want to help you with something that you clearly don't have. You ask for rice, you ask for instant noodle, you ask for water. We have that already automatically prepared. You don't have to ask. But one thing that we want to work on is the healthcare, because I know after this earthquake, a lot of people will need help, assistance, not only physically but also mentally, ya kan? And in the end, they all said like, oh yeah, if it's like that, that's a good thing. Turns out that there's this part of communication that was not delivered well when you are still
lost
using,
in translation.
Lost in translation and using corporate languages. But when I went down and I used
more
bahasa sehari-hari gitu, conversational language, they can understand it. And you can check it. You can check in Google now. You can Google Puskesmas Linggo 2. It's super nice. Yeah. It looks like a proper hospital right now. It was just
tadinya kayak cuma cubicle gitu ya?
Iya, tadinya cuma kayak bangunan gitu, isinya ada 2 ruangan, and it's flattened to the ground. And now you can look, you can Google it. It looks like a proper hospital now.
Yeah.
Thank you for the people that I helped. Yeah. I'm just trying to convince them.
Yeah. Tapi benar, itu benar-benar bisa kita bilang a literal real life application gitu. Imagine what would have happened if that day you did not succeed. A lot of people's lives would have been on the line gitu loh. Jadi sebenarnya kadang tuh orang tuh berpikir skills seperti ini tuh hanya untuk sebatas kerja atau hanya untuk sebatas keren bahkan. Tapi kayak every skill that we learn in this life itu memang meant to be used nggak hanya untuk diri kita sendiri tapi juga untuk orang lain gitu kan.
There's a quote for that. Ultimately, all knowledge is power.
Yes. Jadi the more you know,
the stronger you are.
The stronger you are. Meskipun ada sih a flip side today, the more you know, the less you understand. Tapi for
the more you know, the more suffering you are.
The more you know, the crazier you get. Tapi sebenarnya I feel like even the more you know, the more you read, the less you know aja pun menurut aku is a positive thing. Berarti kan itu an indication bahwa you have that much more to learn gitu loh. Kalau lo sampai baca banyak dikit aja lo bingung gitu.
Well, you have the power of selection, right? You have the power of self-censoring. Which one is important, which one is not.
Which one do you want to take, which one do you want to remove.
Which one you want to digest, which one you want to throw it out. And I guess that's the power when you are trained in public speaking. You immediately know which one to consume and which one to not.
Yes.
Yeah, including, for example, this is very important in today's work. Yeah, we got social media, and social media is full with short videos. Zaman dulu kita nyebutnya Vines.
Yeah,
ya kan?
Vines. Zaman-zaman Vines, siapa yang masih nonton? Yeah.
Nah, sekarang udah ada kayak TikTok, udah ada kayak Facebook Stories.
Sebelum TikTok ada Musical.ly.
Ada, there you go.
Disgusting. I cannot with this Gen Z.
Squeenie you.
Aduh
ya ampun. So old ya. But anyway, the idea about that is that nowadays information spread through short videos. And not all that short videos are correct. Not all of them, are basically the truth. Some of them can be manipulated. Some of them are also not exactly true. It can be a big information yang dipotong cuma sepotong-potong aja. Nah, when you train in public speaking, you get to be able to quickly differentiate which one is the good information and which one is not, and which one you feel that it's incomplete.
Yes.
You kind of already know, like, tunggu, ini informasinya nggak lengkap. There has to be another point or another perspective of this thing.
Emang sih, karena aku sepakat sebenarnya the greatest learners and eventually the greatest people are those who actually learn to see the world or just see whatever their meaning of world is, I guess, in a multidisciplinary perspective gitu. Karena orang kan mengira tuh dunia ini hanya hitam putih. Padahal sebenarnya banyak sekali cara kamu mengkaji sesuatu gitu ya. There's a lot of ways for you to assess a certain situation. Exactly. Or a certain state even. Kayak misalkan kita lihat contohnya si speechnya Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton waktu zaman-zamannya mereka lagi kampanye waktu itu. What is your take on that, sir?
Here's the thing. Public speaking in regard of Hillary and Donald Trump, public speaking sometimes is not just about us. Like you said before, it's about the people. Yeah. And when delivering speech, right, it's who that has the best appeal to people's heart, even though it's against what you believe, is the winner.
Yeah. Itu aku sepakat sebenarnya. Tapi I know that most people wouldn't concur sebenarnya sama kita.
I know.
Karena kan orang tuh punya different, I guess mungkin perbedaan di moral kompas masing-masing kali ya. Tapi aku sepakat, makanya yang tadi kita sempat bahas, ini tuh tergantung intention lo apa sebenarnya. Kalau lo kesini to convince the masses, then you do it in a way that they could accept gitu kan. Let's say their preferences should trump yours. Tapi if you do it for the sake of you wanna bring yourself into the picture, then I guess ya juga nggak apa-apa sih. Tapi you gotta be ready for the consequences kalau penerimaannya nggak akan setinggi if you remove yourself out of the equation. Gitu nggak sih?
Iya itu dia. Nah, Donald Trump tuh playnya gini, dia he made people believe that America is in the dire need of help, in dire need of becoming great again, right? And it plays into people's heart that starts to look at another country.
Appeal to nationalism.
Yeah, appeal to national people, nationalists ya, and patriotic people who thought that loh, kok negara lain udah sampai sini, kenapa Amerika jadi ketinggalan seperti ini? And then there's this critics to the government, pemerintah Amerika ngapain aja? And Donald plays that part, like we need to make America, great again, because so far it hasn't been great. Now compare that with Hillary's speech about, changes, about belief. People are kind of tired with changes. And now they need the changes should come not from us, but should from the government.
Ya, sebenarnya malahan juga begini sebenarnya kalau kita ngomong literary features wise gitu. Si Donald Trump ini, if you noticed, his lexical resources are just very, I would say it, conventional, and it's quite layman. Jadi kayak he appealed to the masses, I think better than Hillary did. Karena Hillary itu di sini come with this, I'd say she's more, her diction is higher daripada si Donald Trump. Tapi
she's more she's using more political terms than Donald. Donald kan bahasanya gampang banget.
Iya, dan padahal kalau kita lihat earlier interviewsnya Donald Trump waktu dia masih younger dan dia waktu itu belum jadi presiden, this guy is not at all illiterate, like he's not gitu. Tapi kadang kan dia suka kayak tiba-tiba kayak cracking jokes atau sudah act silly di depan publik, padahal sebenarnya and some people just like dengan mudahnya kayak dia emang bego aja gitu. Padahal he's not ya sebenarnya.
He couldn't be.
He couldn't be a president if he's that dumb gitu loh. Maksudku money just
he built the Trump empire. He couldn't be that idiot,
He couldn't be that dumb gitu. Jadi sebenarnya the I guess public speaking is also yang tadi seperti Mas bilang, it's eventually censorship and actually looking at the bigger picture and looking in between the lines.
Right.
Karena not everything is as it seems gitu.
No.
It's most often than not deeper than it is gitu.
Yeah. And you have the option whether you want to reveal those that are not seen or you want to keep it that way.
Yes.
Ya kan? Depending on the purpose of your public speaking. Depending on the goal of your speech, you can either reveal it or just keep it.
Ya benar. BTW ini podcast enjoyable banget lagi. Kita kayak ngobrol sendiri dari tadi.
Iya.
Ya tapi I hope you guys can like learn a thing or two dari sini. Mungkin ya, mungkin sebelum kita tutup kali ya. Aku pengen nanya, menurut Mr. Gabe, kalau Mr. Gabe punya tips atau punya let's say just like a little Gabe touch, on the whole situation and the whole public speaking. Karena di sini kan banyak dari listeners atau pendengar kita hari ini yang sebenarnya tuh interested banget untuk bisa jadi public speaker yang baik. Tapi kadang banyak kendala ya. Misalkan challengesnya tuh kalau aku bisa note ya, malu ya, very normal at the same time, tapi concerning sebenarnya gitu. Karena mungkin courage itu jadi isu, kadang juga bisa jadi environmentnya mereka yang mungkin belum mendukung atau belum facilitate growth gitu. Ada juga yang mungkin it's just a matter of being lost itu, karena kan mungkin maybe me and you at the time kita beruntung kita punya pegangan kita atau pembimbing kita masing-masing sampai akhirnya kita bisa nemu our own style ya, karena public speaking kan a lot about style juga nggak sih? Betul. Sama kayak misalkan kita belajar untuk pakai pedang, kita pakai bow ya, kita pakai panah, kita pakai shield, dan akhirnya kita pilih dari 3 itu yang mana yang kita lebih comfortable. Karena it's also about bringing our sense of style into the way we speak. I imagine would be the best gitu. Tapi banyak orang kan belum menemukan itu. Jadi mereka masih nyari-nyari dan mereka coba jadi orang lain misalkan. Ternyata it turns out for the worst gitu, karena they're not really comfortable wearing that clothes ibaratnya. Jadi what can you say to like our listeners for today?
I guess all I can say is public speaking is like riding bicycle, right? You have to do it all the time until you're really good at it, and if you're good, you keep practicing until you fall, and once you fall, you keep practicing until you don't fall anymore, right? And just like bicycle, you can find thousands of ways how to ride your bicycle, and I guess if you want, ini kalau dipanjangin panjang banget loh, Miss Queenie. We haven't talked about how public speaking is actually affecting social media live with TikToks ya.
Benar.
These people the influencers are actually public speaker loh.
Benar. Nanti coba you can maybe put that in into like setengah di tip gitu loh. Karena itu actually kan a Gabe touch ya.
Yeah.
So,
It's if I can say it like this. Public speaking is, believe it or not, is one of the best and fastest way to get you famous. If you're looking for fame, ya kan?
And being liked, I guess.
And being liked,
sih ya.
Iya, ya
It's
kan?
either notoriety or like people liking you.
Yeah, some people benar-benar ngomong apa namanya ya terus terang menurut pendapat mereka, and they get followers. So, just keep on practicing. Don't worry about what people say. And and also one most important thing is that when people say that you are not attractive, forget about it.
Yeah.
Talk.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of people doesn't look good, but when they talk, they become God.
Karismanya tuh beda.
Karismanya beda.
Auranya tuh beda.
Karismanya beda. Tiba-tiba mukamu pertama kayak sendal
Tiba-tiba berubah jadi
sendal jongkok. Iya. Dari Kim Jong Un bisa jadi Kim Jong Kook itu udah banget itu.
Mendadak ganti.
Iya. So there you go. You can and believe me, you can really get people's heart just from speaking.
Ya. Jadi bener ya yang tadi Mr. Gabe bilang gitu, lu mau famous kayak social media influencers itu cepet gitu. Kayak lu bayangin kalau sosmed influencer selama ini ngomongnya terbata-bata atau enggak mereka kayak AIU
Oke, jangan lupa follow and subscribe ya.
Tapi zaman sekarang yang begitu aja tuh jadi taktik loh.
Iya sih.
Nah itu kan jadi creativity juga kan at the end of the day ya.
Just find something that is unique, find something that fresh. And sometimes actually it can, you can look back into yourself. Because sometimes that freshness is actually inside.
Yeah.
You just don't know how to get it out.
Yeah,
kan?
benar.
So try to look at something that is very unique from you and then check it out and then utilize that, weaponize that for your public speaking.
And like surround yourself with people that actually facilitates your growth ya.
Oh, that's true.
Kayak banyak community yang teman-teman bisa temuin in real life ya. Nggak harus kalau mungkin teman-teman atau keluarga kamu belum ada yang support, then like internet is like a wide place.
Yeah.
Like you can often find people in Quora lah, sesimpel itu ya.
Zoom group sekarang udah banyak.
Nah,
Yeah.
Zoom group, WhatsApp, community, Line gitu. Itu kan banyak banget orang-orang yang mungkin like-minded people ya.
Yep.
Jadi it's actually a general advice, but I guess keep people that grows with you gitu. Jangan keep people around you yang memang mungkin mereka nggak ada manfaatnya gitu. Karena kan namanya hidup kita strive to be better setiap harinya. Be better than our past selves at least ya. Jadi or go to like actual institutions yang memang memberikan kelas, dari situ kan kita juga bisa ketemu like-minded people.
Betul.
Gitu. Ions tuh actually offer ya mas
Yeah,
ya, kita
have
public
that.
speaking classes di sini. Nah jadi kalau misalkan teman-teman kayak kepo nih mau ketemu aku sama Mr. Gabe, nah bisa banget check it out ya, check our Instagram, check our programs, maybe some of it will actually suit your needs.
Yeah. You can get to learn from Miss Queenie or me or maybe other teacher,
Iya,
right?
yang juga
banyak
gak
juga
kalah
loh.
bagus tentunya. Iya. Oke, berarti kayaknya ini kita udah cukup ya, udah banyak banget kita. Asik banget nih dilihat.
Gak kerasa ya?
Iya, gak kerasa.
Wow.
Jadi thank you ya teman-teman udah nonton. So we'll see you again at like a different time and stay tuned. So bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you everyone.